chosen one. Listen, this moment is sacred. Heaven paused everything so your spirit could receive this exact message. The laughter that echoed behind your back, it did not go unheard. Every whisper, every mockery, every dismissive smirk has been recorded in heaven's archive. You thought God's silence meant he was indifferent, but no. Chosen one, he was watching, measuring every word, waiting for the appointed hour when justice would roar. They laughed when you failed. They pointed when you stumbled. They said, "Where is your God now?" While you cried into pillows no one saw. They thought their jokes were harmless, but every word was sowing their own harvest. For when they mocked you, they mocked the one who sent you. They called you strange because they could not discern the anointing on your life. But God saw every tear you hid and every prayer you whispered in exhaustion. Heaven never forgot you. You were never invisible. You were being refined. They thought you were being punished, but you were being prepared. Your pain became the forge where heaven shaped a weapon. You were the seed buried, not the one dead. They mistook your stillness for surrender, but God was writing strategy in your silence. Listen carefully. This is not a message of revenge, it's a message of divine response. There comes a moment when God's mercy pauses and his justice steps forward. That moment is now. The laughter that surrounded your downfall will soon be silenced by awe. For heaven has risen in defense of its chosen vessel. You are not forgotten. The delay was never denial, it was incubation. God was protecting your name, your calling, your mind. Even when you thought you lost everything, you didn't lose him. And that means you lost nothing of eternal value. The stage of your next chapter is being built in silence, every nail driven by angels of purpose. The mocking crowds have no idea the storm they awakened. Every sneer became a summons in heaven's courtroom. God himself has declared, "Enough." The laughter of men has stirred the jealousy of heaven. You are about to witness what happens when the Almighty steps into a situation that once humiliated his chosen. Take courage. Chosen one, you have survived the ridicule. Now prepare for the reveal. You are not merely a survivor, you are the evidence that God defends his own. The next time they speak your name, it will not be in mockery, but in marvel. For the Lord your defender is rising. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 29, judgments are prepared for scoffers, and blows for the backs of fools. Do you feel that weight in your chest? Chosen one. That's not fear, it's the vibration of divine authority awakening inside you. You have carried pain like armor and rejection like a crown. You have walked through seasons of silence and misunderstanding, but now heaven's gavel has struck. Every unjust word spoken over your life is being reversed. Your story is shifting. What was ridicule will become revelation. The same voices that mocked you will soon confess they were wrong. They will see the favor of God resting upon you and know without a doubt that it was never luck. It was always destiny. You don't need to defend your name. God himself is defending you. The Lord who watched in silence is now moving in fury. Not the fury of wrath, but the fury of justice. He is not punishing for pain's sake. He is restoring balance, re-establishing honor, revealing his ownership of you before all creation. So, lift your head. The days of being the punchline are over. You are entering a season of divine proof. God is about to demonstrate through your life what mockers can never comprehend, that those who laugh at faith will one day bow before its fruit. Chosen one. Hear this prophetic truth when God rises for his people. No voice can silence him. And right now, he is rising for you. If this word burns within you, like this message, share it with another warrior of faith. And subscribe so you never miss the next wave of divine revelation. Then comment below, 777, I receive my vindication. Let the numbers declare your agreement in the Spirit. They laughed because they didn't see the ending. But you, chosen one, are standing at the dawn of your reversal. The laughter fades. The glory rises. And heaven whispers your name again this time. Not in secret, but in triumph. Heaven took notice. Chosen one. While they laughed, you stayed faithful. While they whispered, you worshipped. You never saw the watchers, but the throne did. Every act of mockery became a note in a divine record. Every insult stored in eternity's archive. They believed no one saw, that their cruelty was harmless, but the eyes of the Lord roam the earth, searching hearts, weighing motives, recording words. You must understand, heaven's silence does not mean blindness. God does not miss a single moment of injustice. His pauses are not permission, they are preparation. There is a holy patience in heaven that waits until the perfect moment to respond. And that moment is now unfolding. When they mocked your dreams, angels leaned in closer. When they joked about your failures, heaven grieved. And when you forgave, instead of fighting back, the sound of your restraint became worship in the courts of heaven. The Father marked that moment. He said, I will repay, because he always does. Not in bitterness, but in balance. The world has forgotten the weight of mocking the sacred. They scoff at faith because they think it's fragile. But faith is forged in fire. They forget that every chosen soul walks under divine surveillance. When they laughed at you, they laughed at what heaven anointed. And no mocker goes unseen forever. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Galatians, chapter 6, verse 7, do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. You see, chosen one, there are laws more ancient than gravity. They govern harvests of words, intentions, and actions. Every mocker will meet their own echo. It may not come in the same form, but it will come with the same weight. For no seed of mockery goes unharvested. And yet, the beauty of heaven's justice is mercy's restraint. God does not strike to destroy, he strikes to awaken. He corrects the heart before he exposes the hand. So while they laughed, he waited. While you cried, he comforted. While they plotted, he planned. You thought you were standing alone in those nights of pain. But every tear became an intercession. The same angels that guard the throne guarded your soul. They shielded your purpose from the poison of bitterness, because the one who sees all was preparing to act not through your anger, but through his authority. There is a divine audit happening even now. Heaven is recalculating every wrong word spoken against you, every lie, every false rumor, every twisted version of your truth. God is rearranging it into testimony. You will not need to defend yourself when the evidence speaks. The very mouths that mocked will be silenced by your transformation. When heaven takes notice, nothing remains hidden. God's observation is never passive. It is prophetic. His seeing means his scheduling. Every time he says, "I have seen," it means a shift is about to begin. Think of it. Noah mocked, then vindicated by rain. Joseph betrayed, then crowned by famine. David hunted, then enthroned by prophecy. You are walking in that same divine rhythm. Your season of being misunderstood is not punishment, it is preparation for revelation. You have been asking, why didn't God stop them? And heaven replies, because their mockery is your proof. Without opposition, vindication has no stage. Without ridicule, glory has no contrast. God allowed it so that when he lifts you, no one can deny it was him. The laughter was never the end, it was the cue. Every mocking word marked the countdown to your revealing. You have been tested in silence because God wanted your heart pure enough to handle public honor. The stage he is building for you requires humility forged by hidden pain. And here's the truth they never understood when they laughed. You were closest to breakthrough. The enemy often inspires mockery at the moment of divine transition, hoping you'll quit before the promise manifests. But you didn't. You stayed. You endured. And that endurance became evidence of heaven's mark upon you. Now the divine tables turn. The same voices that mocked will witness the miracle. God is not merely defending your name, he is showcasing his faithfulness. Your story is becoming a sermon without words. Your endurance, a prophecy fulfilled. Heaven's observation is not like man's. We see events, he sees outcomes. We see laughter, he sees justice ripening. Every delay, every hidden season, every tearful prayer has been aligning your destiny. What looks like stillness is divine choreography. And now, the air shifts. Heaven's attention becomes heaven's action. God's eyes become his hand. He does not forget his own. You are living proof that the unseen realm is not indifferent, it is intentional. So, breathe. Chosen one. You don't have to fight for validation. You don't need to prove your worth to those who mocked. Their laughter was temporary. Your calling is eternal. The mocker's season is ending, and the watcher's season has begun. Heaven took notice, and once heaven notices, nothing stays the same. Hidden in plain sight, that's where you've been. Chosen one. God concealed you while the world counted you out. They couldn't see your value because heaven hid it from their eyes. Every closed door, every rejection, every overlooked moment was not abandonment, it was divine camouflage. You were not being ignored, you were being protected. There are seasons when God hides his greatest treasures in the most ordinary wrapping. The crown was not denied to you. It was delayed until you could carry it with wisdom. You have felt unseen, uncelebrated, underestimated, but none of that changes your anointing. The secret is this: obscurity is not punishment, it's preparation. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. End of 10. Do you understand now? You were known before you were visible, chosen before you were understood. Every moment they ignored you was part of God's method to mature your spirit before exposure. He wanted you strong enough to handle honor without pride, blessing without blindness. There were times you cried, "Lord, why can't they see me?" And heaven whispered, "Because I'm not ready to reveal you yet." God's hidden ones are his secret weapons. while others chase applause. You've been training in silence. You've learned to pray when no one claps. You've learned to believe without being believed in. That's how heaven builds generals. Think of David, tending sheep in forgotten fields, while kings dined in palaces. Think of Esther, an orphan hidden in exile before becoming queen. Think of Joseph, imprisoned and betrayed before ascending to rule a nation. God hides those he intends to reveal with power. They mistook your quietness for insignificance, your patience for weakness, your humility for absence. But you've been walking in divine disguise. The same people who ignored your value will soon witness your unveiling, and when that happens, they will realize that the one they dismissed was carrying heaven's blueprint all along. You have been hidden not only from others, but also from yourself. God kept you from seeing the full extent of your calling, so you wouldn't sabotage it prematurely. You've walked through seasons of uncertainty, not because you lacked direction, but because destiny was still unfolding in layers. And now, that layer is shifting. The winds are changing. The hidden will soon be highlighted. The forgotten will soon be favored. Heaven has already scheduled your revealing, and not even your past mistakes can cancel it. The concealment was necessary to protect your consecration. Exposure too early would have destroyed what God was building in secret. The laughter of your enemies will soon be replaced by confusion, because they will not understand how the same person they mocked is now walking in divine authority. The secret place was your training ground. The silence was your sanctuary. And now, as light breaks through the shadows, your identity will no longer be questioned. You are emerging with a purity the world cannot imitate. Chosen one. This is your confirmation. The delay was never a denial. God has been preparing you for visibility, not vulnerability. What once hid you will now highlight you. Every invisible season is about to make sense. Every ignored effort is about to be honored. And when your unveiling begins, remember this truth. Humility kept you safe, and humility will keep you crowned. Do not chase the spotlight. Let the light find you. For when heaven reveals what it hid, no power on earth can conceal it again. Your assignment now is simple. Hold steady. Keep your heart pure. Stay faithful even when unseen. You are walking into the chapter of recognition ordained before your birth. And soon, the world that laughed will witness the God who lifts. Now, chosen one. Type these 3 words in the comments. I am seen. Say it as a declaration, not a plea. You are not asking to be noticed. You are acknowledging what heaven has already decreed. When you type it, you are aligning your confession with God's revelation. You are agreeing that the season of concealment has done its work. And now visibility will serve his purpose, not your ego. The hidden one is rising. The mocked one is remembered. The invisible one is being introduced by heaven itself. You were never forgotten. You were being fortified. The turning of the tables has begun. Chosen one. Heaven is no longer silent. What once seemed like a delay has turned into divine momentum. You may not hear the sound yet, but in the unseen realm, the balance is shifting. The laughter that once filled the air is being drowned out by the footsteps of justice. There is a holy irony in God's timing. The very stage your enemies built to humiliate you will become the platform of your unveiling. The words they used to tear you down will now testify to your strength. Every mockery has matured your spirit. Every betrayal has sharpened your discernment. You are not who you were when the laughter began. You have been refined by fire. When God begins to reverse a story, He doesn't need to announce it. He simply moves. And when He moves, every power that mocked His timing trembles. What they meant for humiliation will become demonstration. The world is about to witness the reality that heaven always has the final word. As Jesus Himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 20, verse 16, "So the last will be first, and the first will be last." Oh, that verse is not just about rank, it's about rhythm. The rhythm of reversal, the rhythm of divine irony. God delights in using the underestimated to silence the arrogant. You have been last long enough, forgotten long enough, ignored long enough. The reversal is heaven's way of saying, now it's time. End of section. You will notice small shifts first. Unexpected favor. Unexplainable peace. Moments when those who mocked you start moving differently. Don't react, observe. The tables are not turning by accident, they are turning by decree. This is divine choreography in motion. When Joseph was thrown into the pit, his brothers thought they ended his story. But the pit became the path. When Daniel was thrown to the lions, his enemies thought it was punishment. It became promotion. When Jesus was nailed to the cross, darkness thought it had won, but the tomb turned into a throne. So it will be with you. Those who mocked your pain will soon witness your purpose. The same mouths that said, "They'll never make it," will speak your name in reverence. This isn't revenge, it's revelation. God is revealing who He was, protecting all along. The very people who mocked you will realize they were spectators of a prophecy in progress. This season will teach you that divine justice is not loud, it is precise. God doesn't humiliate your enemies, He educates them. He lets them see your rise, not to shame them, but to remind them that He alone exalts. You don't have to gloat or even respond. Your transformation will speak louder than any explanation. The tables turning are not just external, they are internal. The insecurity that once chained you will break under the weight of clarity. The doubt that haunted your steps will dissolve in the light of understanding. You will begin to see that God was not punishing you, He was positioning you. This turning is not partial, it is complete. Financial tables, relational tables, spiritual tables, all shifting in your favor. You will walk into rooms that once ignored you and feel the atmosphere change. The same people who once dismissed you will seek your voice, because heaven's mark on you will be undeniable. And yet, this moment requires humility. Remember, when the tables turn, you must not sit in the seat of mockers. Do not repeat what was done to you. Rise higher. The true victory is not that you are proven right, it's that you remain righteous. The laughter that wounded you once had power, now it is powerless. It has lost its authority because you no longer define yourself by it. Your worth was never determined by their opinions, it was sealed by God's choosing. You carry the evidence of divine reversal, peace in place of panic, purpose in place of pain. Look around you. What once looked like ruins is now foundation. What once felt like rejection is now redirection. God has rearranged the pieces while you were crying. Now, as the dust settles, the pattern becomes clear. He was never late. He was waiting for the right witnesses. When the tables turn, it is not sudden, it is sovereign. Heaven has been orchestrating this from the beginning. The same stage that carried your humiliation will soon carry your coronation. The laughter that tried to bury you will become the echo of your victory. So stand still. Chosen one. Let the reversal unfold without fear. The battle has already been decided in your favor. Every word spoken against you will now testify of your endurance. You will not need to explain what God Himself is about to reveal. The tables have turned, and the eyes that once looked down on you will now look up, not because of who you are, but because of the one who sent you. The story has shifted. The atmosphere has changed, and heaven is smiling. The mocked has become the message. The divine anger awakened. There are moments in history when heaven's patience ends, when the quiet observation of injustice turns into divine motion. Chosen one. That moment is here. The laughter that once seemed harmless has now stirred something ancient in the heart of God. He is not furious because of pride, but because of love. You are His. And heaven does not sit idle when His own are ridiculed. For too long, they mistook your meekness for weakness. They thought your silence meant surrender. Your humility meant defeat. But God was storing every insult like fuel, waiting for the appointed time to ignite it into purpose. The Lion of Judah has stood, and His roar is not for destruction, it is for defense. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 18, verse 6. In my distress I called to the Lord. I cried to my God for help. From His temple He heard my voice. My cry came before Him, into His ears. And that cry, your cry, did not vanish into the night. It pierced eternity. Heaven has heard what earth ignored. Every time you whispered, God, I can't take it anymore. The sound echoed in His temple. And now, the Almighty rises not as a distant observer, but as a furious father defending his child. Imagine a mother bird watching a storm approach her nest. She spreads her wings wide, not to show strength, but to shield her young. That is what heaven is doing for you right now. The storm is no longer against you. It's for you. It's clearing the path, removing what mocked your name, uprooting what whispered against your purpose. You may not feel it yet, but the wind has changed. Divine anger does not always arrive as thunder. Sometimes it comes as reversal, as unexpected favor, as sudden peace where turmoil once lived. That is how God fights quietly, powerfully, and unmistakably. Think of your life as a garden. For seasons, weeds of mockery grew unchecked. People walked through carelessly, trampling what God planted. But now, the gardener has returned. His pruning shears are in hand, and though His work is fierce, it is holy. He is removing everything that choked your growth, everything that laughed at your roots. Soon, what was overrun will bloom again. Divine anger is not reckless rage, it's restorative fire. God does not destroy to harm, He destroys to heal. Like fire cleansing a forest floor, His judgment burns only to make room for new life. The scorched places in your soul are about to sprout joy again. There will be moments when you see the reversal, and tears will come not out of triumph, but relief, because you'll realize God didn't forget. He was simply writing your justice story in silence. The pain that once made you question His love will soon prove it. And when it happens, don't boast. Simply breathe. Know that heaven remembered. You don't need to shout, I told you so. Your peace will say it for you. Your transformation will preach louder than your words ever could. Now, chosen one, if this message reaches deep into your spirit, if you feel the truth burning beneath your ribs, pause for a moment. Like a spark lighting a lantern, let gratitude rise. Then, as a simple act of faith, like this message, share it with someone walking through their own storm, and subscribe so you remain part of this growing circle of light. You see, when you share light, you multiply it. Think of it as a candle touching another wick. The flame doesn't shrink, it spreads. Each act of sharing turns one light into hundreds. And maybe, just maybe, your click will reach another chosen one who feels unseen, unheard, unloved, and your act of faith will remind them that heaven still fights for its own. You are part of something sacred now. Every share is not promotion, it's prophecy. Every like is not vanity, it's a whisper of unity among the called. This isn't about numbers, it's about names written in heaven. So, walk forward gently. Let the fire of God's justice warm you, not harden you. Stand in awe of what He's doing behind the scenes. The same laughter that once broke your heart will one day make you smile, because you'll finally see that it never had power, it only had permission. For a season, God's anger has awakened, not to destroy your enemies, but to awaken your destiny. The trembling you feel is not fear, it's heaven's army marching in sync with your heartbeat. You are not alone in this storm, you are the reason the storm is shifting. And when the dust settles, when the skies clear, you will stand where they said you'd never rise. Glowing with the light of vindication, the divine fire burns. Not behind you, but around you, turning ashes into armor, pain into purpose, and laughter into lessons. The Almighty is not just hearing now, He's acting. The divine anger has awakened, and it has your name written in flame. When God defends His own, no power on earth can oppose it. Chosen one. This is the moment when heaven begins to move in visible ways. Every hidden act of obedience, every unseen prayer, every quiet yes you gave in the dark is now echoing in the light. You are stepping into the season of divine defense, the kind where no explanation is needed, because the evidence of God's favor speaks for itself. You've been in battles where you didn't even fight back, not because you were weak, but because you understood who fights for you. You learned to stay silent while others shouted. You learned to forgive while others plotted. That restraint wasn't cowardice, it was faith in motion. You knew that when heaven takes up your cause, you no longer need to prove your innocence. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. And you see, this isn't about revenge. It's about restoration. God doesn't just silence your enemies, He shifts the atmosphere around your life. The very people who tried to harm you will find themselves confused, unable to understand why the plans they set in motion suddenly crumble. It's because you are no longer the target, you are the testimony. When God defends, He does it thoroughly. He doesn't just remove the weapon, He disarms the will behind it. No gossip can travel far when heaven interrupts the sentence. No plot can prosper when angels stand between your name and their intentions. This defense is not just spiritual, it's structural. He is reorganizing your life so that what once reached you can no longer touch you. Think of yourself as a city under divine construction. The walls are being reinforced. The gates are being guarded. What once entered easily will now meet resistance because the defender has risen. There are battles you won't even know you avoided because God blocked them before they reached your awareness. That's the power of being chosen. You are covered even when unaware. When God steps in, He does not announce it with thunder. Sometimes He works through silence that terrifies your enemies. They feel something shifting, but can't name it. They sense doors closing and don't know why. What they don't see is the hand of the Almighty redrawing boundaries around your destiny. You are no longer accessible to those who seek to drain or destroy you. Divine defense often feels like isolation before it looks like protection. You might lose certain people, certain opportunities, certain connections, but every loss will make sense in the light of what's coming. You are not being punished, you are being preserved. God removes what threatens His promise, even when you try to hold on to it out of loyalty or fear. Sometimes, the Lord's defense looks like delay. You think He's forgotten, but He's simply aligning justice with timing. Because when He acts, it won't be partial, it will be permanent. The same hand that wrote your name in grace will erase every false label spoken against you. You won't have to argue for peace. Peace will surround you as proof. You will soon notice this shift in your spirit. Situations that once overwhelmed you will lose their power. Conversations that once broke you will no longer move you. The peace you feel isn't denial, it's divine insulation. You are living behind a wall built by the hand of God Himself. Do not fear the noise. The noise is proof that the enemy is panicking. When God defends, darkness scrambles, confusion spreads, and chaos collapses. You might feel tension now, but that tension means the breakthrough is close. The Lord is making your name too costly to slander, your life too guarded to destroy, your purpose too anointed to delay. Heaven's defense is also heaven's endorsement. The protection you feel is not random. It's the King declaring, "This one belongs to me." Every unseen battle is being handled by the same power that parted the sea. You will walk forward untouched, and the waves that tried to drown you will become walls that protect you. Chosen one, the season of explaining yourself is over. You don't need to justify the journey, because God's results will do that for you. Stay still. Stay steady. The defender is already working. Now, as a prophetic act of agreement, type this number in the comments: 444. This is not superstition, it is symbolism. 4 is the number of completion, stability, and foundation. When you write it, you're declaring, "My foundation is protected. My steps are secured. My story is safe in His hands." Let it be your silent amen to the defense that is already unfolding around you. You don't need to swing your sword anymore. The Lord Himself has drawn His, and once heaven's sword moves, no darkness can stand. You are defended. You are sealed. You are safe. The separation season has arrived. Chosen one. It is not a punishment, but a purification. God is pulling you away from what can no longer walk with you. Every disconnection, every sudden silence, every door that closes without reason, it is not rejection, it is redirection. The same God who joined hearts in past seasons is now dividing paths for your protection. You may feel the sting of it. Separation always hurts before it heals. You have given loyalty to people who cannot understand your calling. You have shared vision with those who could not see beyond comfort. And when they began to mock what you carried, heaven made a decision. Enough. This season is not about clinging, it is about clearing. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Amos. Chapter 3, verse 3. Do two walk together unless they have agreed to do so? The answer is no. Alignment is essential for advancement. You can no longer afford to walk beside those whose laughter mocks what you were born to protect. This is the dividing line between companionship and calling, between comfort and covenant. You are being separated so that the sacred in you can breathe again. For too long, you've tried to explain yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. You've tried to justify your faith to those who mocked it, your dreams to those who doubted it. But explanation cannot create revelation, and God is tired of watching you shrink to make others comfortable in your light. The separation is mercy, not cruelty. Consider the pruning of a tree. When the gardener cuts away the branches, it looks like loss. But those removals are not random. They make space for stronger growth. That is what heaven is doing in your life. The people who left were branches that could not carry the next weight of your fruit. It is not betrayal, it is divine gardening. There are some connections that feel natural, but are not spiritual. Some relationships bring comfort, but block calling. God has been whispering, let go. And you've resisted because you love deeply. But love that ignores instruction becomes bondage. Obedience sometimes means walking away in silence, trusting that absence is also an answer. The separation season exposes motives. You will begin to see who celebrated you for your purpose and who only tolerated you for your presence. When God elevates, exposes. The same people who laughed at your pain will soon watch your peace, and they won't understand how you're glowing after being broken. That's because you are no longer tied to their approval. This is where maturity begins. You must stop mourning what God has already removed. Stop trying to resurrect expired connections. The laughter that once mocked you had to fade so you could hear heaven clearly. Solitude is not emptiness, it's clarity. In silence, God speaks what noise tried to bury. You may feel lonely now, but loneliness is often the waiting room of revelation. When everything familiar fades, that's when the still, small voice becomes audible again. You are learning that divine intimacy requires sacred distance from distractions. Do not chase what left. When God removes, He replaces with better. When He closes doors, it's because there's an entire hallway waiting beyond. And sometimes, His greatest gift is not addition, but subtraction. You will notice this pattern in your life. The tighter your circle becomes, the clearer your calling grows. Because God trusts only a few with your next level. Everyone can see your success, but not everyone can handle the story behind it. The mockers from your past season cannot enter your next one. They laughed because they couldn't discern your value. And now that heaven is unveiling you, their access has been revoked. Let them talk. Let them remember. Let them stay where they are. Your destiny does not depend on their applause or apology. The separation is sacred. It's heaven saying, I'm refining your company. You will begin to meet those who speak your language of faith, who carry light instead of laughter, who build instead of belittle. These are your kingdom allies, souls who strengthen, not drain. And when you look back on this season, you'll see it was never loss, it was liberation. The laughter that once echoed in rooms you no longer enter will fade like background noise in a new song. you'll realize that sometimes God rescues you by removing you. So, do not grieve what's gone. What left was never meant to last. The pruning is proof of growth. The silence is a sign of divine separation. The road may narrow, but the anointing deepens. Chosen one. Embrace this holy distance. You are not being isolated. You are being insulated. Heaven is wrapping you in light, cutting off the shadows that once followed you. When the separation is complete, you will not only stand taller, you will shine cleaner. The separation season has begun, and though it may ache, it is the sound of your destiny making room for glory. The prophetic silence. This is the stillness before the storm. Chosen one. The pause between heaven's observation and heaven's action. You have entered a sacred quiet where God is not asking you to speak, but to listen. Every attempt to explain, defend, or prove yourself will now feel heavy, because this is not your season to talk. It is your season to hear. You have prayed, shouted, cried, and fasted. You've told God everything, and now He is saying, "Be still." Not because He has nothing to say, but because His voice is about to thunder where yours has gone hoarse. The silence is not absence, it's announcement. Heaven is speaking in frequencies too holy for noise, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old. In the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 17, "The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In His love, He will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing." That verse holds the mystery of this moment. While you wait in silence, God is singing. While you question, He is composing. The melody of His plan plays softly beneath the chaos of your thoughts. He is not rebuking you. He is rejoicing over you. But His rejoicing is quiet, because revelation grows best in still soil. Silence can feel suffocating when you've been misunderstood for so long. You want to shout your innocence, to prove that your intentions were pure. But God is saying, "I'll speak for you." When heaven decides to speak, even your enemies must listen. The same mouths that mocked you will be silenced by wonder when God breaks His quiet. Prophetic silence is never empty. It is a womb. Something divine is forming inside the stillness, something you cannot rush or reason. Every unanswered prayer is not a rejection, but a pregnancy. God is shaping the answer within the delay. The most powerful moments in Scripture often began in silence. Before creation, there was the void. Before Christ's resurrection, there was the tomb. Before Elijah heard the whisper, there was the quake and fire, and then stillness. And in that stillness, the voice of God spoke. So it is now for you. Heaven's silence is not indifference, it is intimacy. God trusts you enough to let you sit in the mystery without losing faith. You have grown beyond needing constant reassurance. Now He teaches you to trust His presence without proof. This silence is not a test of endurance, it's a graduation of faith. In this silence, every echo of mockery fades. Every wound from laughter loses its sting. Because when God hushes the noise, even the memories of pain begin to dissolve. The same silence that feels empty now will soon become the chamber where your next instructions are whispered. Sometimes, God hides His next move so well that you start to think He has stopped moving. But silence is not inactivity, it's incubation. He is positioning people, aligning events. and preparing hearts to receive the version of you that will emerge after this. You are not waiting for nothing. You are being wrapped in divine secrecy before the unveiling. You might find yourself talking less, craving solitude, avoiding meaningless conversation. That's not isolation, it's invitation. The Spirit is drawing you into deeper waters where noise cannot follow. You are being tuned to heaven's frequency, and it requires quiet. In this prophetic silence, God is also speaking to those who mocked you. He is visiting their dreams, troubling their peace, softening their hearts. You won't have to confront them. Conviction will. The same laughter that once wounded you will now echo in their conscience until repentance blooms. Do not mistake this stillness for stagnation. Still waters run deep, and your spirit is deepening right now. You are being taught to rest in divine timing, to let God handle what your hands cannot. You are learning that vindication is louder when it arrives in peace. When heaven breaks silence, it doesn't whisper, it shifts everything. The same God who was quiet yesterday will soon speak with thunder. You won't have to ask, "Was that him?" because the change will be undeniable. Opportunities will align without effort. Clarity will descend like light after a storm. Until then, breathe. Let the silence cleanse you of the need to be understood. Let it soften your heart and sharpen your hearing. God is not far, He is closer than ever, standing in the stillness with you, working behind the curtain of quiet. When He finally speaks, it will not be to explain the past, it will be to announce the future. And you, chosen one, will realize that the silence was never punishment. It was the sound of heaven preparing your next beginning. The prophetic silence is not the end of your story. It is the deep breath before the symphony. Visions of vengeance and mercy, two rivers flowing from the same throne. Chosen one, you are standing in the middle of both. The season has come where you will witness justice unfold before your eyes, but not the way you once imagined. Heaven's vengeance is not petty, it is precise. God's justice never aims to destroy, it aims to awaken. The same fire that consumes the wicked can purify the willing. You've been waiting for retribution, for that moment when the laughter of your enemies turns into silence. But now, God is teaching you a deeper truth. Real vengeance belongs to Him, and His vengeance is drenched in mercy. You will watch people reap what they sowed, yet your heart will no longer desire their downfall. It will ache for their redemption. That is how you'll know you've grown. As the Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Romans, chapter 12, verse 19, "Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, 'It is mine to avenge.'" Allah. Those words are not a warning, they are a promise. God saw every false smile, every mocking tone, every moment when they tried to bury your name. He wrote it all down, not for wrath's sake, but so that no injustice would go unbalanced. Yet before He acts, He examines the heart, both theirs and yours. Because when He releases judgment, He also extends mercy. There will be moments in this season when you'll see tables turning and hearts trembling. Some of those who mocked you will fall into hardship, not because God delights in their pain, but because He's calling them to awareness. Their laughter will become questions. Their arrogance will become repentance. And you, chosen one, will be asked to do something that feels impossible to pray for those who once mocked your tears. You see, vengeance without mercy breeds bitterness. But mercy within vengeance births revelation. Heaven wants to show the world what divine justice truly looks like, not revenge, but restoration. You are not just a witness, you are a vessel of that restoration. The same grace that carried you through humiliation will now flow through you to heal those who hurt you. It will confuse them. They will not understand how you can forgive after what they did. They will question your peace, your composure, your kindness. But your mercy will preach louder than any sermon, because when they see that the one they mocked is now the one interceding for them, they will finally see God. Do not mistake mercy for weakness. Forgiveness is not approval, it is freedom. You release them not because they deserve it, but because you refuse to let their laughter echo inside your spirit any longer. You are done carrying what God has already judged. The release of mercy is not for them, it's for you. There is a vision unfolding in the spirit right now. You stand between two fires, one of justice, one of grace. And God says, let them both burn. Justice will cleanse what was corrupted. Grace will redeem what was lost. In the end, both fires will reveal His glory. Some enemies will fall, others will repent. Some will vanish from your story, others will return with humility. Don't resist the ones who come back changed. God's mercy sometimes sends them back to witness what transformation looks like. And when they see you healed, they will know truly God was with you all along. It's hard. I know. You wanted God to handle it quickly, to end the pain with thunder. But His vengeance moves like dawn. It rises gradually until the light is undeniable. You will soon see justice without hatred, victory without pride, closure without revenge. That's the maturity of a chosen soul. And when you reach that point, heaven celebrates. Because mercy has completed its work in you. You become a mirror of God's own heart, strong enough to judge, soft enough to love. Now, chosen one. If this word stirs something deep inside you, if you feel the pull between vengeance and mercy, type this in the comments, I forgive them, and say it not for them, but for yourself. When you write those words, you are unlocking the gates of peace. You are declaring that their mockery no longer owns a single corner of your spirit. That is how you step fully into freedom, by choosing mercy when the world expects revenge. Because when you forgive, the enemy loses twice. First when you rise, and again when you refuse to hate. This is the higher path. This is divine justice wrapped in grace. You are not only the vindicated, you are now the vessel through which heaven reveals its true heart. Chosen one. The visions of vengeance and mercy are no longer distant, they are manifesting through you. Walk forward in both power and peace. The public vindication. This is the unveiling. Chosen one. The moment when what was hidden in shadow is now illuminated by glory. For so long, your story was whispered about, twisted, doubted, and dismissed. You were painted with misunderstanding, buried beneath ridicule, and yet you kept walking. You didn't fight with words, you fought with faith, and heaven took note. Now, the curtain is being pulled back. The same stage where you were mocked will now display your miracle. The same audience that laughed will now watch in stunned silence as the script flips. This is not coincidence, it is choreography. The author of time himself has turned the page. As the prophet Isaiah wrote, chapter 60, verse 2, See, Darkness covers the earth, and thick darkness is over the peoples. But the Lord rises upon you, and his glory appears over you. That glory, chosen one, is not an abstract glow. It is visible favor. It's when everything that tried to bury you becomes soil for your bloom. You will rise not by your strength, but by divine design. People will ask, "How did this happen?" And you will simply say, "God did it. I am." Vindication does not arrive like a trumpet. It often comes like dawn, quiet, golden, indéniable. It begins with small shifts, a call you didn't expect, a door that once refused to open, now swinging wide, a heart that once mocked, now softening. Heaven's fingerprints are showing on your life, and no one can deny it. Vindication means exposure, but not of your enemies. It is the exposure of truth. It reveals what God was doing all along. It shows that your silence was not surrender, your stillness not weakness, your waiting not wasted. Every tear you cried was currency in heaven, and the return on that investment is now arriving. But here's the mystery. This moment is not about proving others wrong. It's about proving God right. Your rise will not humiliate those who mocked you. It will humble them. Because when the hand of God lifts a person no one believed in, even cynics bow their heads in awe. Imagine your life as a painting once hidden in a dusty attic. For years, no one recognized its value. People walked by it, laughed at it, dismissed it as common. But now, the master restorer has cleaned the dust, mended the canvas, and placed it under the perfect light. Suddenly, what looked ordinary reveals sacred beauty. That's you. Public vindication is not a trophy, it's a testimony. It's the echo of every prayer you whispered when no one was watching. It's heaven saying, "I heard you." The laughter that once surrounded your name will now turn into quiet respect. Not because of revenge, but because of revelation. As your name rises, remember this: stay low in spirit. The higher God lifts you, the more grounded you must remain. Glory is not for boasting, it's for blessing. Use your story to heal others who are still being laughed at. You are not just being elevated, you are being commissioned. And now, if this message speaks to your spirit, if you can feel the trembling of destiny beneath your feet, take a deep breath and let gratitude fill your heart. Then, as an act of faith and connection, like this message, share it with someone still waiting for their own vindication, and subscribe so we can keep walking this divine journey together. This isn't about numbers, it's about nourishment. Every act of engagement is a ripple of light in the darkness. When you share, you are carrying someone else's lantern through their night. When you subscribe, you're choosing to stay near the sound of truth, to keep your spirit anchored in encouragement. Think of it like rain touching dry ground. Your click, your share, your agreement becomes part of the downpour of hope that restores others. You are watering souls just by responding to the word. Vindication isn't coming, it's already unfolding. You are becoming the proof that God finishes what he starts. What was meant to bury you became your birthing place. What was meant to humiliate you became your holy platform. Stand tall. Chosen one. The light upon you is not fleeting, it's favor with roots. Every laugh against you is fading into silence, replaced by awe. Every shadow that hid you is now bowing to your radiance. You are walking proof that heaven remembers. Let the vindication speak for itself. You don't need to explain. You are the explanation, the living testimony that patience still pays, and faith still wins. The laughter has ended. The stage is ready. The light is yours. Walk into it, crowned amidst ashes. You never thought beauty could be born from such devastation. Did you? Chosen one, the fire that consumed so much of what you loved seemed final. The ashes in your hands looked like evidence of failure. Yet even as you wept over the ruins, heaven whispered, "Keep watching, because in God's kingdom, ashes are never the end. They are the beginning of transformation." The ancient words recorded in the book of Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 3, declare, "To bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair." No, that promise is not poetic exaggeration, it is spiritual law. Where there are ashes, heaven always plants beauty. The same fire that once burned you will now illuminate you. The same ground where you were humiliated will become holy with new life. Every ember that fell around you was not destruction, it was purification. The ashes represent what could no longer stay: relationships, identities, expectations, even versions of yourself. You've been shedding layers of what you thought you needed, only to discover that the truest version of you was buried beneath the soot. You were never losing yourself. You were finding what cannot be burned. Ashes are proof that the fire did its work, and what survived the flames is pure. Look at yourself now wiser, quieter, more discerning. The pain stripped you, but it also sanctified you. You are no longer moved by the same fears or distracted by the same noise. The laughter that once pierced your heart now sounds distant, almost small. The crown you're receiving is not made of gold, it's made of endurance. It shines with the reflection of nights you chose, prayer over panic, forgiveness over fury, faith over fear. Every tear that fell became part of its design. When heaven places it upon your spirit, it won't glitter for applause. It will gleam with the quiet strength of a survivor, anointed by grace. There is a holiness in what you've walked through. The world saw ashes, but heaven saw an altar. Every heartbreak was a burnt offering, every disappointment a sacred sacrifice. You thought you were losing everything, but in truth, you were being purified for royalty. This is why you had to walk alone for a while. The fire isolates because transformation requires separation. No one else could go through this particular flame for you. The shaping had to happen in solitude. But now, as the smoke clears, the world will see a figure rising, not broken, but blazing. Your humility, once mistaken for defeat, will become your crown's foundation. Pride cannot survive the fire, but purity can. You will carry your crown differently, not as a symbol of superiority, but as a reminder of mercy. You will remember how close you came to giving up, and that memory will keep your heart soft. There will be people who notice the change in you and ask, "What happened?" And you will smile. Because words cannot capture the mystery, you will simply say, "God met me in the fire." That's all. Because no explanation can describe the sacred exchange between ashes and beauty. Chosen one, you are walking proof that resurrection is not a one-time event, it's a lifestyle. Every time you rise from something that tried to bury you, you reenact the power of the empty tomb. You are the living embodiment of divine resilience. Do not despise your ashes anymore. Hold them like a testimony. They are not reminders of what you lost, but of what could not be destroyed. You are crowned amidst them, because heaven wants the world to see that even in ruins, His glory reigns. Soon, you will walk into rooms where no one knows your story. Yet everyone will feel your strength. They won't understand why your presence carries such weight. But the spirit world will. You carry the aroma of fire and oil, the scent of someone who's been through everything and came out purified. Your ashes were your anointing oil in disguise. Your tears were the water that hardened your crown's shape. Every loss carved space for more light. And now, you wear evidence of heaven's craftsmanship. You are crowned not because of perfection, but because of endurance. You are the living reminder that God does not waste pain. The laughter that once mocked your fall will now marvel at your rise. You stand in beauty, surrounded by the ashes that once tried to define you, but now they bow to your transformation. The fear of the Lord returns. It begins quietly like a tremor before the quake. The same people who laughed, mocked, and dismissed the name of God in your life will soon feel a weight in the air, something they can't explain. It isn't guilt, it's reverence being restored. Heaven is reclaiming the awe that the world has forgotten. The laughter that mocked the sacred has awakened divine trembling. This season is not about your vindication alone, it's about restoration of holy fear. For too long, they treated grace like a game, mercy like a myth, and your calling like a joke. But when God lifts His hand over the life of His chosen one, even the proud must pause. Reverence returns not through punishment, but through revelation. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 17. For the Lord your God is God of gods and Lord of lords, the great God, mighty and awesome, who shows no partiality and accepts no bribes. Those words are thunder wrapped in truth. God is not mocked, not bought, not swayed by flattery or fame. He is the same consuming fire that walked with Moses, the same voice that shook Sinai, the same spirit that now surrounds you. When His presence rises, the atmosphere shifts, the proud grow silent, and the humble fall to their knees. You are living in the days when God is reintroducing Himself through His chosen ones. The fear of the Lord is returning through your story, your endurance, your transformation. People will see the light on your life and realize it wasn't luck, strategy, or coincidence. It was the hand of the Almighty. And when they realize it, their laughter will cease, not from terror, but from reverence. There is a sacred silence that follows divine revelation. You will notice it soon. Those who once mocked your faith will hesitate before speaking. Those who once gossiped will grow quiet mid-sentence, unable to continue, because the Spirit of the Lord will rest on you like fire, and the fire will not be mocked. The fear of the Lord is not about trembling in terror, it's about trembling in awareness. It's when the soul suddenly recognizes who God truly is: holy, just, merciful, and unmatched. This awareness breaks pride, exposes hypocrisy, and restores honor to what was once treated lightly. And God is using you, your pain, your perseverance, your persistence to remind the world that He is still holy. Your story is a mirror reflecting His character. Every time you refused to retaliate, heaven recorded it as worship. Every time you forgave when you could have fought back, heaven displayed it as testimony. Now, that record is speaking louder than any sermon. When the fear of the Lord returns, judgment and mercy walk side by side. The mockers will feel conviction, the humble will feel comfort, and the chosen will feel covering. You will walk in a peace that confuses the proud, because they will realize the same fire that could have consumed you has instead crowned you. This holy fear is not to harm them, it's to heal them. When reverence returns, rebellion retreats. When awe fills the heart, arrogance flees. The presence of God will hover around your life like a visible light, and people will know this one is set apart. They will see the change, not through thunder, but through your calmness. They will notice that your steps carry weight, your words carry peace, and your silence carries authority. Because when the fear of the Lord rests on someone, heaven's majesty becomes visible through their humility. Chosen one, you are being used as a vessel of remembrance. Through you, people will remember what it means to honor what is holy. You are not just a survivor, you are a signpost pointing back to awe. Now, as an act of spiritual alignment, type this number in the comments: 555. This number represents grace, multiplied favor upon favor, mercy upon mercy, power upon purpose. When you write it, you are declaring, "Let reverence rise again in me and around me." It is not superstition, it is surrender. You are saying yes to carrying the presence with purity, to being a living reminder that God is not absent, He is near, and He is holy. The world may not understand the trembling they feel around you. They will sense it, but not name it. That's how it should be. The fear of the Lord doesn't shout, it settles. It doesn't crush, it convicts. And in that conviction, transformation begins. You are the carrier of awe in an age of arrogance, the one who stands as proof that holiness still breathes, that heaven still defends, that God still reigns. When they see your peace, they will remember their Maker. When they hear your name, they will recall the one who raised you, and the laughter that once belittled faith will bow before its fire. Your mantle revealed. Chosen one. This is the unveiling of what all the pain was preparing you for. The seasons of silence, the laughter of doubters, the loneliness of waiting. It all led here. You are stepping into the awareness of what you truly carry. Heaven is lifting the veil. And for the first time, you are beginning to see the full weight of your mantle. The word mantle is not just a symbol, it is identity. It is the invisible covering of assignment that rests upon the chosen. Some inherit it through lineage, some through trials, others through obedience. But all mantles are costly. They are forged in fire, tempered by tears, and sealed by surrender. You have paid the price in secret, and now heaven honors it in public. The prophet Elijah spoke as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 19, verse 19. So Elijah went from there and found Elisha, son of Shaphat. He was plowing with 12 yoke of oxen, and he himself was driving the 12th pair. Elijah went up to him and threw his cloak around him. Now, you will begin to notice a shift in how people respond to you. Some will honor you without knowing why. Others will distance themselves, sensing a weight they can't understand. The mantle distinguishes, it divides. It attracts the hungry and repels the mocking. That's why isolation preceded revelation. God was removing those who could not respect what was about to rest on you. Every trial was training, every humiliation, a rehearsal for glory. You had to walk through misunderstanding so that compassion could dwell in your voice. You had to carry rejection so you could recognize the broken. This mantle doesn't make you higher, it makes you deeper. It doesn't elevate your pride, it anchors your purpose. You will speak, and your words will cut through confusion, like light through fog. You will walk into spaces and shift the atmosphere without trying, not because of charisma, but because of calling. The mantle carries authority that does not need applause to be real. It is heaven's signature on your soul. But with revelation comes responsibility. To wear the mantle is to guard it. You must remain pure in heart, humble in posture, and patient in purpose. The weight of calling cannot rest on unsteady foundations. The higher the anointing, the deeper the roots must grow in obedience. You can no longer respond to mockery or distraction. The mantle demands focus. There will be moments when you feel its heaviness, a sense that you can't go back to who you were, can't blend in, can't rest in the comfort of normalcy. That is not punishment. It is consecration. The mantle sets you apart for impact. The very thing that once made you feel isolated will now make you influential. Your mantle will speak louder than your name. It will draw those who are ready for healing and disturb those clinging to deception. When light increases, shadows react, but do not fear. The mantle is your protection as well as your power. What others call spiritual warfare is simply the resistance that comes with revelation. Do not hide it. Do not downplay it to be accepted. You are not called to comfort the crowd. You are called to awaken them. Your words will carry both mercy and fire, because the mantle you bear carries heaven's dual nature, love and truth. Some will be healed by your compassion, others will be pierced by your clarity. Both responses are divine. When Elijah's cloak touched Elisha, everything ordinary became sacred. So too, your everyday life will now feel infused with divine purpose. Simple acts, your words, your presence, your work will begin to carry spiritual weight. You are not striving to be anointed. You are realizing that you already are. Chosen one. The mantle does not make you someone new. It reveals who you always were. All along, you were set apart, refined, and prepared for this moment. Now that the covering has fallen, walk with quiet authority. Heaven trusts you to carry what many cannot. And remember, this mantle is not a trophy. It is a tool. It was never given to be admired, but to serve. The true mark of a chosen one is not how loudly they shine, but how deeply they love. Let your power remain wrapped in gentleness, your authority clothed in humility. That is how heaven recognizes its own. Your mantle has been revealed. Wear it not with pride, but with peace. For the laughter that once diminished you has faded, and the fire that now surrounds you speaks of destiny fulfilled, divine promotion, unlocked. The time has come. Chosen one. The waiting, the hidden seasons, the ridicule, all of it was the staircase, not the stumbling block. You are now standing at the threshold of elevation, the moment when heaven's yes meets earth's readiness. The locks that once held your progress are clicking open, one by one, not because of luck, but because of alignment Divine timing has caught up with your obedience. Promotion in God's kingdom is never random. It is not earned by striving or manipulation. It is released when character catches up to calling. That is what has been happening to you. Every delay was a divine classroom. Every disappointment, a spiritual certification. You are not being promoted because you wanted it. You are being promoted because you're ready to carry it. We find in the book of Psalms, chapter 75, verse 6 and 7, "No one from the east or the west or from the desert can exalt themselves. It is God who judges. He brings one down. He exalts another." That verse is the blueprint of this moment. God himself is the hand behind your lifting. No endorsement. No network. No human effort could have positioned you like this. What is happening now cannot be undone by gossip or delayed by jealousy. It is sealed in heaven and manifesting on earth. This promotion will not arrive with fanfare. It will unfold with quiet authority. You may feel the shift before others see it. Doors that once resisted will open naturally. Conversations that used to feel forced will suddenly flow. The difference is not in them, it's in you. Your spirit has matured into someone who can hold what God has promised without letting pride corrupt it. You are being elevated in realms you cannot see yet. Heaven often promotes privately before revealing publicly. Your influence is expanding spiritually long before it becomes visible physically. That's why lately your dreams have intensified, your awareness deepened, your peace grown thicker. These are all symptoms of divine transition. But make no mistake, promotion is not comfort. It is calling. God lifts not to pamper, but to position. You are being entrusted with more responsibility, not just more recognition. The higher you go, the more people your obedience will affect. This is why the refining had to be painful. It prepared you to carry others, not just yourself. Think of a tree that grows tall after storms. The wind that once threatened to uproot it has instead deepened its roots. That's you. Your storms have strengthened the unseen structure beneath your surface. And now, heaven says, rise. And when God promotes, he does not remove all opposition, he redefines it. Those who mocked your last season may still watch your ascent, but their laughter will no longer sting. You've outgrown the need for validation. Your confidence no longer draws from applause, it draws from assignment. You have learned that being chosen means carrying peace, even when surrounded by disbelief. Divine promotion also brings divine protection. The elevation that comes from heaven cannot collapse under human weight. You are shielded, not by popularity, but by purpose. And that purpose acts as a fortress guarding your mind, your focus, your heart. But remember this, chosen one, promotion requires posture. Stay low even as you rise. The only way to survive elevation is humility. Let gratitude be your gravity. Never forget the nights you prayed for what you now walk in. The higher God takes you, the more gently you must step. You will soon find yourself in places where your voice carries influence. In those moments, do not speak to impress, speak to impact. Use your favor as fuel for service, not superiority. The greatest leaders heaven anoints are those who remember the weight of the wilderness. This is your season of divine unlocking. Opportunities will appear that once seemed unreachable. Delays will dissolve, and clarity will sharpen. You will sense movement around you, holy rearrangements. people being placed exactly where they need to be to fulfill the prophecy written over your life. But be mindful, divine promotion does not mean you've reached the end. It means the mission just expanded. Each level of elevation carries a new layer of surrender. You will be asked to trust deeper, love wider, forgive quicker. For this is how God keeps his promoted ones pure. The laughter that once echoed behind your back will now sound distant, almost irrelevant. You won't need to silence it. It will fade naturally under the weight of your results. When heaven promotes, earthly noise cannot interfere. So walk softly into your new season. The ground beneath your feet is sacred, freshly opened by divine hands. Every step forward is a fulfillment of prophecy. Every breath you take a reminder that you made it not by chance, but by grace. The locks are undone. The doors are open. The path is clear. You are not who you were yesterday, and you will never go back. Divine promotion has found you, and heaven smiles. The laughers silenced. It is strange how quiet the world becomes when God finishes what he started. The laughter that once filled the air has vanished, replaced by the hush of awe. You no longer hear the ridicule, the whispering, the doubt. It's as if heaven reached down and pressed its finger to their lips. Silence is not empty. Chosen one. It is reverence being reborn. You are standing in the aftermath of prophecy fulfilled. Those who mocked your faith now watch in disbelief. The same voices that called you foolish now echo with regret. It isn't punishment, it's perspective. God has simply turned the mirror of truth toward them, and what they see has left them speechless. The apostle reminds us in his first letter to Peter, chapter 2, verse 15, "For it is God's will that by doing good you should silence the ignorant talk of foolish people." And you did exactly that. You didn't silence them with arguments, but with endurance. You didn't fight back. You kept walking. Your consistency became your correction. Your peace became your proof. When you refused to respond to mockery, heaven began to respond for you. And now, that divine response rings louder than any defense ever could. Imagine a storm that has finally passed. The trees still glisten with rain. The air still hums with energy, but the thunder is gone. That's what this silence feels like. You've survived the storm. And now creation itself seems to pause in respect. Even your enemies sense something has shifted. They will never admit it out loud. But they know now, you were never the joke. They were simply blind. They mocked what they did not understand, laughed at what they could not define. Your pain has become their teacher. Your rise, their revelation. And the silence that follows is the sound of recognition. It is not cruel silence, it is holy silence. It is the same stillness that covered Egypt when God proved himself through Moses. It is the quiet awe that filled the upper room when tongues of fire descended. It is the silence that falls over a courtroom when the verdict is read and the innocent stands vindicated. That is where you are now. The divine verdict has been spoken. But, chosen one, do not gloat in this silence. Do not let pride turn peace into performance. You have nothing to prove anymore. Let humility remain your crown. Let your actions continue to speak softly, even when the world finally listens. Your life is now a living metaphor, once ridiculed, now radiant. You are like a lighthouse built from the stones they once threw at you. Each insult became part of your foundation, each rejection a beam of your light. Now the very ones who mocked you use that light to find their way. And in this quiet, there is an invitation. Heaven whispers, don't just enjoy the silence, use it. This is your time to plant new seeds. The ground that was once cursed with mockery is now fertile with redemption. What you build in this peace will outlast the memory of their laughter. Now, if this moment speaks to your spirit, if you can feel that hush of heaven surrounding you, pause right here. Take a breath. Feel the weight of what's been lifted. Then, as a simple act of gratitude, like this message, share it with someone still walking through their storm. And subscribe so you can keep journeying with this family of faith that refuses to give up. We are like candles in a vast cathedral. Each light amplifies the next. Your one small click, your one share, becomes another flame added to the collective glow of those who believe that God still vindicates, still restores, still silences the laughter of the proud with the beauty of his justice. And now, as you read these words, type this in the comments. Peace remains. Write it not as a statement of calm, but as a declaration of permanence, because peace is not just the absence of noise, it's the proof that God has won. When you type those words, you're agreeing that this silence is sacred, not temporary. It is heaven's applause, the sound of divine satisfaction. This is the turning point where you stop explaining and start expanding. Let your silence speak the sermon. Let your peace be the prophecy. The laughter of others tried to bury you, but peace has resurrected you. They laughed, but now they listen. They mocked, but now they marvel. And you, chosen one, walk forward, unbothered, steady, luminous, free. You become the sign. Chosen one. You no longer just carry a message. You are the message. Your life itself has become a living prophecy, a sign carved by time and trial. Every wound, every prayer, every season of waiting has been stitched together into a testimony that walks. Heaven no longer needs to prove its power through thunder or fire. It reveals it through you. When people look at you now, they don't simply see a survivor. They see evidence. Evidence that endurance pays. Evidence that obedience works. Evidence that divine justice is not delayed, only timed. You have become what others will point to when they doubt that God still moves. As the prophet Isaiah wrote, chapter 8, verse 18, Behold, I and the children whom the Lord has given me are for signs and wonders in Israel from the Lord Almighty, who dwells on Mount Zion. It is a strange feeling, isn't it, to realize that your pain was never wasted, that your struggles were not random, but rehearsals for revelation. You once asked, "Why me?" And heaven quietly answered, "Because your life will speak louder than your words." And now it does. Your endurance has become instruction. The same people who once avoided you are now drawn to you, seeking answers you once sought yourself. They do not come for your advice, they come for your atmosphere. They sense something on you that cannot be explained, but only experienced. That something is glory. Glory does not always arrive as shining light. It often manifests as quiet authority. It's the peace in your eyes, the strength in your stillness, the mercy in your tone. It's the way your presence calms chaos without a single word spoken. You've become a mirror of heaven's nature, steady, radiant, unafraid. Being a sign means your life carries meaning beyond you. Your healing is not just for you, it's for those watching silently from the shadows, wondering if they too can rise again. When they see you whole, they will believe restoration is still possible. When they see you forgive, they'll learn what freedom really feels like. Signs point to something greater than themselves. You are not the destination, you are the direction. Your life points to God. Your breakthrough points to grace. Your resilience points to hope. That is why the enemy fought you so fiercely. If he could have broken you, he would have hidden the evidence of divine faithfulness from those who needed it most. Now you understand why you were laughed at, misunderstood, and rejected. It was never personal, it was prophetic. You carried the mark of contradiction, and anything marked by heaven always irritates hell. But all their laughter has only made your rise louder. Being a sign also means you will not always be understood. There will be those who still question how you survived, how you continue to shine despite scars. Don't waste your breath explaining the divine. Signs are meant to be seen, not justified. Those who are meant to understand will see it clearly. Those who are not will eventually be taught by time. The miracles that follow you now will not come through striving, but through stillness. You have entered the stage of grace where your existence itself carries impact. Doors will open without effort. Favor will follow without force. And peace will guard without permission. You are no longer chasing destiny, it is orbiting around you. Do not take this lightly. Being a sign is sacred. It means heaven trusts you to represent its reality in a world full of illusion. You are proof that light wins. Proof that endurance outweighs envy. Proof that the mocked can become the manifest. Every step you take now carries prophecy in it. The way you love, the way you forgive, the way you walk through life. These are sermons without words. Heaven is writing through your actions what others will read with their eyes. You may not realize it yet, but your name will become a story told in quiet corners, whispered among those who doubted miracles. They will say, if God could do it for them, He can do it for me. And in that moment, your purpose will be fulfilled, not in applause, but in awakening. You are no longer just part of the plan, you are the proof of it. The sign that God still sees, still saves, still strengthens. The sign that laughter fades, but glory remains. Chosen one. You have become what the mockers feared and what the faithful needed, a walking testament that heaven never forgets. Your existence is now prophecy fulfilled. Glory after the storm. It is finished. Chosen one. The laughter has faded. The storm has passed. And what remains is radiance soft, steady, undeniable. You are no longer standing in the ashes of what was. You are standing on the foundation of what will be. The night that once felt endless has broken into morning, and the first light of your new season has begun to rise over you. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 30, verse 5, weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. That verse has always been true, but now it has become your truth. You have lived it, breathed it, survived it. Your weeping was not wasted. It was the water that prepared the soil for joy. Every tear has grown something eternal in you. The glory that follows the storm is not loud or dramatic. It doesn't arrive as a roar, it arrives as a whisper. It's the still peace that settles into your chest when you realize you're no longer fighting for survival. It's the quiet gratitude that rises when you look back and see that what should have destroyed you has instead defined you. Glory after the storm doesn't mean perfection, it means perspective. You now see everything differently. The things that used to wound you no longer reach you. The fears that once haunted you now bow to faith. You have discovered the secret of strength, not in power, but in peace. When storms come, they test the roots, and your roots have proven deep. The winds bent you, but did not break you. You learned to sway without surrender, to weep without withering. The same rain that once blurred your vision has now washed your sight clean. You see clearly. You see purpose in pain. You see God in the details. Look around you. Life is blooming again. What the enemy thought he scorched has come back greener. The soil that once felt barren is rich with revelation. You are walking on ground, watered by your own endurance. You are proof that storms don't just destroy, they also deliver. They deliver strength, wisdom, empathy, and vision. Glory doesn't erase the scars, it honors them. The marks you carry are not reminders of defeat, they are memorials of survival. Each one whispers, "You made it." Every scar on your heart is now a window where light passes through. You no longer hide your history, you wear it like armor. Gentle, but unbreakable. There is a calmness around you now, the kind that only comes from having been through the fire and discovered that you were flame-proof. You've walked through loss, through laughter's cruelty, through the silence of heaven, and yet you stand, not bitter, not broken bright. This is the chapter where God turns survivors into symbols. You have become a portrait of peace, a living reminder that even the fiercest storm must surrender to dawn. You've stopped asking, "Why me?" and started whispering, "Thank you." That shift is the sound of healing. Do you feel it? The stillness is no longer heavy, it's holy. You are not waiting for breakthrough, you are walking in it. The very air around you carries the residue of restoration. What once mocked your prayers now bows to your praise. There will be moments when you remember the storm flashes of old pain, echoes of old laughter, but they will no longer sting. They will only remind you of the distance between who you were and who you've become. You have moved from survival to sovereignty. Glory, after the storm, is not about applause, it's about awareness. You now know that even chaos can be kind when seen through heaven's eyes. Every detour was direction, every delay design. You are no longer asking God to change the story, you are thanking Him for how He wrote it. The same rain that drenched you has revealed your reflection, and what you see now is not the wounded one, not the weeping one, but the chosen one, refined, radiant, royal. The laughter that once sought to break you has become background noise to the symphony of your purpose. Rest now. The battle is behind you. The lesson is within you. And the future is before you. Walk in gentleness. For the glory resting on you is heavy, yet holy. Let your peace speak for the power of endurance. Let your stillness preach louder than any voice ever could. The storm came, but it could not stay. The laughter tried, but it could not last. What remains is light pure, eternal, victorious. And that light is you, chosen one. Take a deep breath. You've reached the end of this journey, but not the end of your story. 17 sections of fire and faith, laughter and light, And through them all, one truth remains: you were never forsaken. Every chapter that once felt cruel was crafted with care. Every tear you cried became a thread in the tapestry of redemption. Now, as you stand in the glow of your own resurrection, hear heaven whisper, "It was all for this." The silence, the mockery, the isolation, they were not meant to destroy you, but to define you. You are the vessel of victory that God designed long before you understood your purpose. The laughter that once tried to shrink you has become the echo that announces your strength. The fire that once threatened to consume you now burns as your testimony. You are the living proof that divine justice is not a myth it breathes. It moves. It manifests through those who refuse to quit. So, walk forward gently, crowned in clarity. Love those who mocked you. Forgive those who left. And carry peace like a sword. The world will recognize the glow of the refined. It cannot ignore the fragrance of the favored. You, chosen one, are not just a story told. You are a story still being written. And heaven's ink never runs dry.